Okay. So hamma jim o'tirsa. Xo'sh, mehmon haqida hammalaring informatsiyalaring bor, ma'lumotlaring bor. Mehmonimiz haqida u kishi mana shu Buyuk Britaniyalik mehmonimiz hozir sizlarga chiqib mana shu bugungi prezentatsiyalarini nima qilib taqdim etadilar va bunda Vazira Azimova tarjimonlik, ya'ni interpreter bo'ladilar. Nimamiz rekord bo'ladi. Iltimos hammalaring nimalaringni ovozlarini o'chirsalaring, mehmonni hurmat qilsak. Katta rahmat. Hello, Rebecca. Thank you very much. Welcome to our Women's Leadership, Rebecca. Good afternoon and good evening in Uzbekistan.
Good evening for you, yes.
How do you do?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you. I just got back from my other meeting, so I managed. Nice to see you. And Wazira is here. So I did explain and I did tell them, our ladies, about you. They have all the information about you, and we all welcome you, like Uzbek ladies, Tajik ladies from Kyrgyzstan, from Kazakhstan. So we are welcoming you.
Thank you very much. Hello, and I see Vazira there. Hello.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Of course. Thank you so much, Guli, for inviting me to speak to you all. And thank you for sharing this hour or so with me, to all of you. Yeah, what I'm going to talk about with you today speaks to many of the subjects that I think you're covering as part of this program. But I'm not going to speak to any one of those directly. I might cover them, but not specifically one of those topics.
Avvalo assalomu alaykum hammangizga va tashakkur. Menga shuni siz bilan bir soat vaqt ajratib, vaqtingizni ajratib taklif qilganingiz uchun Guli Shayxga rahmat va barcha ishtirokchilarga o'zlarining bir soatini men bilan baham ko'rishga rozi bo'lganlar uchun rahmat. Bugun men siz bilan gaplashadigan mavzu siz o'rganayotgan, hozir siz shug'ullanayotgan mavzular bilan bevosita bog'liq, lekin aynan ularning bittasi bilan haqida emas, ya'ni to'g'ridan to'g'ri aynan bitta mavzu emas. Umuman sizda o'rganilayotgan mavzu leadership bilan bog'liq. Demak, boshlaymiz.
I should also apologize. I didn't make it into my studio. My internet connection is better at home, so I stayed put. So welcome to my bedroom.
Demak, sizlar bilan bugun studiyamda emas, xonamda olib boryapman darsimni. Buning uchun uzr so'rayman, chunki men bu yerda Wi-Fi aloqam yaxshiroq, studiyamdan ko'ra Wi-Fi aloqam shu yerda yaxshiroq. Va xush kelibsizlar meni yotoqxonamga.
Okay. So, but first, as I would like to do with you, I would do with the people who I work with through the Drawing Connections program, and that's a little breathing exercise. In terms of coaching, I would recommend this in any situation. Breathing, and most importantly, breathing well, is essential as a singer, and it is an exercise I have practiced ever since I was a young girl, when I first started to sing. And this is breathing into your lower diaphragm, not just into your chest, but filling your lungs so they expand, and push your belly out.
Demak, avvalo men o'zimning drawing connections, ya'ni aloqalar o'rnatish loyihamda ishlayotgan odamlarim bilan bajarganim kabi sizlar bilan nafas olish mashqlarini bajarishni xohlardim, istardim. Murabbiy sifatida murabbiylik nuqtai nazarimdan men buni har qanday vaziyatda ham hammaga tavsiya etaman. Nafas olish, ya'ni to'g'ri nafas olish bu juda ham muhim. To'g'ri nafas olish qo'shiqchi uchun ayniqsa muhim, zarur. Va men har kuni bu bilan shug'ullanaman. Ya'ni to'g'ri nafas olish mashqlari bilan shug'ullanaman. Bolalikdan qo'shiq aytishni o'rganganim bois buni men yaxshi o'zlashtirganman. Va bu nafaqat nafas olish desa, siz mana faqat o'pkada nafas olish tushunasiz. Demak, nafas olish faqat o'pkagacha bormaydi. To'g'ri nafas olganda siz nafasni chuqur olasizda, o'pkadan yana pastga itarib, diafragma orqali ko'krak qafasdan pastga qoringacha tushirasiz. Bunda qorinning shishadi, kengayadi. Qorinni ya'ni itaradi shunda.
So, with you, whether you are stood or sitting, I would like you to do this practice, and Vazira is going to walk you through it. But it starts with breathing slowly in through your nose, into your belly to the count of 4, pausing for 4, breathing out for 4, pausing for 4, and then inhaling for 4. And this exercise will really help to ground you in any situation. And we'll talk a little bit more about that afterwards. Thank you.
Demak, hozir siz bilan to'g'ri nafas olish mashqini bajaramiz. Bunda hozir birgalikda siz bilan aytib turaman. Qanday sizga mana nima qilishni, bajarishni aytsam, shunday davom ettirasiz. To'g'ri nafas olishning boshqa foydalari haqida nafas olish mashqidan keyin yana gaplashib olamiz. Demak, hozir qayerda bo'lishingizdan qat'iy nazar, o'rningizga o'tirgan holatdamisiz, turgan holatdamisiz, yotgan qanaqa holatda bo'lishingizdan qat'iy nazar, sekin burningizdan qorningizgacha 1 dan 4 gacha sanagunimcha nafas olasiz. Ya'ni men hozir mana nafas oling deganimda bu уже 1 bo'ladi-da. 2, 3, 4 desam, siz chuqur nafas 4 gacha olasiz. Nafasni ushlab turing deb 4 gacha sanayman, 4 gacha nafasingizni o'zida ushlab turasiz-da. Nafasni chiqaring deyman, 4 gacha sanab tugatgunimcha nafasni to'liq ichingizdan chiqarasiz-da, pauza qilasiz. Kelishdik-a? Boshlaymiz-a? Hamma tayyormi? Are you ready? Okay. Nafas oling. 2, 3, 4. Nafasingizni ushlang. 2, 3, 4. Nafas chiqaring. 2, 3, 4. Shu holatda turing, pauza. 2, 3, 4. Yana takrorlaymiz. Nafas oling. 2, 3, 4. Nafasni ushlab turamiz. 2, 3, 4. Nafasni chiqaramiz. 2, 3, 4. Pauza qilamiz shu holatda. 2, 3, 4. Yana nafas olamiz. 2, 3, 4. Nafas ushlab turamiz. 2, 3, 4. Nafasni chiqaramiz. 2, 3, 4. Pauza qilamiz. 2, 3, 4. Hammaga rahmat. So, Rebecca?
So breathing well, especially in difficult and testing and stressful situations, will keep you grounded. It will help you feel confident in your beliefs and reassured in your decisions.
Do you want me to translate now?
Yeah, I mean, doubt, specifically self-doubt, is one of the biggest barriers to achieving what you might wish to.
Aha. Demak, yaxshi nafas olish, ya'ni to'g'ri mana shu holatda nafas olish, ayniqsa qiyin, sinovli, stressli vaziyatlaringizda sizni tinchlantirishga yordam beradi. O'zingizdagi e'tiqod, yana biror xohishingizni, ishonchni his qilishingizda, qarorlaringizdagi ishonchingizni to'liq his qilishingizda yordam beradi. Ba'zan shubhada, xususan o'ziga bo'lgan ishonchsizlikda, istagan narsasiga biror xohlagan narsaga erishishda eng katta to'siqlardan biri bu ishonchsizlik. Mana shuni aynan yengish uchun to'g'ri nafas olish sizga yordam beradi.
So we are all bringing our own experiences into this space, and we are shaped personally and molded, colored, even clouded by those experiences, both our own and those of the people around us.
Biz hammamiz o'z hayotiy tajribamizni bir-birimizga yetkazish bilan shu makondamiz. Ya'ni biz hamma o'zicha shakllangan, hamma o'zicha qoliplangan, hamma har turli rangli, xarakterli, hattoki har tomonlama hamma har xil qobiliyatlarga ega. Va demak, atrofimizdagilarni holatlari ham xuddi shunday. Ya'ni bizni tengdoshlarimiz, oila a'zolarimiz, do'stlarimiz, hattoki kunda bir-biriga ko'z tushadigan begona insonlar bilan ham demak tajribani bo'lishmoqdamiz hozir yashab turgan hayotimizda.
So therefore, it is important that we feel confident in our interactions to help inform and keep us grounded in our decision making. And breathing is essential to this and essential to life. And doing it well helps you master that life.
Demak, shuning uchun ham biz yordam berish uchun o'zaro munosabatlarda ishonchni eng avvalo yo'lga qo'yishimiz kerak va o'ziga bo'lgan ishonch, atrofdagilarni ham sizga bo'lgan ishonchini his qilish uchun, muhim qarorlar qabul qilishdan oldin yoki biror vaziyatni, voqeani birovga yetkazish uchun mana shu to'g'ri nafas olishni qo'llash kerak. Masalan, bir hayajonli voqeadan oldin albatta to'g'ri nafas olish mashqini bajarib olishingiz sizga tavsiya etiladi. Chunki bu hayotingiz uchun muhim.
My connection. So breathing out is as important as your breath in, and so being mindful of it throughout the day is very helpful to you. It's connected to our nervous systems, and that controls our emotions. Yeah.
Nafas olish, ya'ni to'g'ri nafas olish nafasning o'zi kabi muhim. Ya'ni prosta nafas olamiz-ku, o'sha nafas olish qanchalik muhim bo'lsa, biz uchun to'g'ri nafas olish shunchalik muhim. Shuning uchun ham kun bo'yi xayolimizda tutib, shuni o'zimizga o'zimiz yordam berishimiz kerak. Ya'ni orada mana yo'lda ketayotgan paytingiz bo'y payt o'zingiz uchun to'g'ri nafas olish mashqlarini bajarib turing. Bu sizning asab tizimingiz uchun, masalan, nafas olish asab tizimi bilan bog'langan. Nafas olish ishlash paytidagi hissiyotlaringiz, ularni boshqarish, o'zlashtirishga yordam beradi. Ba'zan vahimaga tushib qolsangiz, ayniqsa birorta narsadan shubhalansangiz, ikkilansangiz, qiynalsangiz, mana shu chalkash vaziyatlarda yoki juda ham foydali to'g'ri nafas olish uchun juda ham foydali.
So that's why I have done the breathing exercise with you. Avoiding panic, especially in those stressful situations where doubt or confusion creeps in, it can be really helpful and in achieving to take that moment to draw into yourself and breathe and feel grounded in your decision making. So that little exercise was a way to help equip you like a toolkit so that you can feel more confident in those interactions.
Birorta narsadan vahimaga tushsangiz, xavfsirasangiz, qo'rqsangiz, albatta mana shuni men buni o'rgatishimdan maqsad ham shu. Sizni o'zingizga bo'lgan ishonchingizni mustahkamlash uchun juda ham yordam beradi to'g'ri nafas olish mashqlari va mana shu to'g'ri nafas olish mashqlari orqali o'zini tinchlantirishga erishish mumkin, birorta muammoli vaziyatdan chiqishga erishish mumkin. Ya'ni odam vahimada noto'g'ri qarorlar qabul qiladi, to'g'rimi? Mana shu tinchlangan to'g'ri nafas olish sizni tinchlanishingizga yordam beradi va to'g'ri qaror qabul qilishingizga, vahimadan chiqishingizga, stressdan chiqishingizga osonlashtiradi. Ya'ni birozgina vaqt sarflab shuni o'zlashtirib olsangiz, mana bir martada odam o'zlashtirmaydi, 2-3 marta mana shu to'g'ri nafas olish mashqlarini bajarib o'zlashtirsangiz, doimiy odatga kirib qoladi-da, o'zingizni ancha tinchlantirib olasiz.
So I know that dealing with issues is one of the things that you are covering in this program. And one of those issues is surrounding forced marriage. And that isn't something that I have had to deal with. I was brought up in a very loving family. However, I did move around a lot as a child, and every 2.5 years, my friends, teachers, schools changed according to my father's work with the British Royal Air Force until about the age of 11 when I joined boarding school. So the one constant, my parents, then became my kind of holiday vacation.
Men bilamanki siz hozir bu loyihada turli muammolar bilan bir qatorda majburiy nikoh haqida ham mana sizlarning mavzularingiz bor. Men muammolar bilan ko'p shug'ullanganman, lekin hech qachon majburiy nikoh muammosi bilan shug'ullanmaganman, hal qilmaganman. Chunki o'zim juda ham mehribon oilada tarbiya topganman, bolaligim tinch oilada o'sgan, faqat har 2,5 yilda ko'chib turganmiz. Otam chunki qirollik havo kuchlarida ishlagan, ya'ni voyenniy bo'lganlar, ota-onalar Britaniya qirollik havo kuchlarida ishlagan ekanlar. Shunda bolaliklardan ko'chib yurganlar. Mana o'zimizda ham rotatsiya bo'ladi-ku, shunga o'xshagan narsa. Va toki 11 yoshlarigacha, 11 yoshlarida maktab internatga borishni boshlaganlar va bu u kishining hayotlarida juda ham katta rol o'ynaganiga ishonar ekanlar.
Yeah, and so I believe that this sort of experience in my youth played a huge part in developing my resilience. I had to learn from an early age the importance of adaptability, being fluid and open and friendly. And those skills for keeping positive helped my mental health, and creativity played a huge part in that.
Demak, mana shu maktab internat bu kishining hayotlarida juda katta rol o'ynagan ekan. Bu kishidagi qat'iyatni rivojlantirgan, bolalikdagi moslashuvchanlik, vaziyatga ko'nikuvchanlik mavjud ekanligini, muhimligini o'rganishga yordam bergan ekan. U kishining atrofida ochiq va do'stona, ijobiy ruhiy muhit bo'lgan va bu kishidagi salomatlik, ijobiy muhitni rivojlantirish, saqlashni o'rganganlar. Ayniqsa ijodkor uchun bu juda ham muhim. Ya'ni mana shu moslashuvchanlik, do'stona munosabat, hamma bilan munosabatga kirishib keta olishni rivojlantirish ijodkor uchun juda ham muhim.
So creativity was essential, as we've kind of touched upon, and it was my constant companion. I believe all the creativity is rooted in observing, watching, paying attention, and really looking. And we're going to do a little exercise later that might kind of give you another allowed me the time that I needed to think and try and make sense of the world from my perspective.
Demak, ijodkor uchun bu juda ham muhim jihatlardan biri. Shuni rivojlantirish, demak, ijodkorlikni rivojlantirish uchun kuzatish, atrofni tomosha qilish, boshqalarning e'tiborini jalb qilish va boshqa narsalarga e'tibor berish, umuman dunyodagi ko'p narsalarni sinab ko'rish orqali dunyoni angladim, deyaptilar. Va bu hozir sizlar bilan yana bir keyinchalik yana bir mashqni bajaramiz, deyaptilar. Shu mashqlarni bajarish orqali, demak, hozirgi ijodkorlik qobiliyatlarini yanada rivojlantirgan ekanlar.
Thank you. So my time at boarding school, which at that point was no bigger than 300 girls, was an environment that encouraged order and discipline. My first matron was a nun. But apart from this environment being quite constrained, I also thrived, and I think a lot of that is down to the positive encouragement that I was surrounded by, and I had a huge support network.
Demak, bu kishi maktab internatdagi hayotlari, vaqtlarini eng ajoyib davrlar deb hisoblaydilar. O'sha vaqtda 3 dan oshmagan qizlar bo'lgan. O'sha internat, qizlar demak internati ekan, 3 dan oshmagan qizlar internati bo'lgan va bu kishidagi intizomni, tartibni rag'batlantirgan, rivojlantirgan. Mana chunki hamma qizlar bo'lgandan keyin albatta tartib intizom talab qilinganda juda qat'iy talablar bo'lgan. Shu tartib intizomni rag'batlantirgan va bu kishi uchun eng gullab yashnagan ajoyib muhit, ajoyib davr bo'lgan. Ijobiy rag'batlantirish, ulkan mana поддержка deymiz, qo'llab-quvvatlash tarmog'i bo'lib kishiga xizmat qilgan. Kuchli va bu kishi uchun juda ham muhim rol o'ynagan.
So this proved, like your network here with your leading ladies, this proved to be very important for me, because when I finished my A-levels at the age of 18, I had a skateboard accident and I suffered a brain hemorrhage, and was hospitalized for 2 months. So you can imagine this dramatically disrupted my life. Yeah.
Mana shunday go'zal hayot yashab yurgan paytlarida 18 yoshlarida, ya'ni A daraja bizlardagi 11-sinf deylik, tugatayotgan paytlarida skateboardda halokatga uchrabdilar. Va bu bosh miyadan qon ketishi juda kuchli og'ir holatga tushganlar, bosh miyadan qon ketib, shu kundan boshlab hayotim keskin tubdan buzilib ketdi, o'zgarib ketdi. Keskin o'zgarishga tomonga yuz burdi mani hayotim, deyaptilar.
So my recovery after 2 months in hospital and several years thereafter, I owe largely to the positivity that surrounded me and this network that I had developed from the age of 11. And as I relearned a lot of the lessons that I had developed throughout my childhood.
Bu 2 oy shifoxonada yotdim. Bir necha yil o'tgach, yana sog'ayishimga ham shifoxonadan tashqari shu 2 oylik shifoxonadagi vaqtdan tashqari bir necha yillar kerak bo'ldi. Va bu davr uchun, sog'ayishimgacha bo'lgan davr uchun bolaligimdagi olgan saboqlarimdan, o'rganganlarimdan, meni o'sha payt o'rab turgan ijobiy muhitdan qarzdorlik his qilaman. Shunday ajoyib davrda yashagan, o'rgangan hamma narsalarim shu 2 oylik kasallik davri va undan keyingi yillardagi rivojlanishimga, yana o'zimni tiklashimga, sog'ayishimga katta hissa qo'shganini his qildim.
So with this creativity that I use as a tool to help with my recovery, as well as my sort of survival, if you like, in my childhood, I would like you to take a leaf out of my book, and I believe you should all have a sheet of paper, and I would like you to do an activity whilst I'll play the drum whilst you're doing it. We're going to take 10 or 15 minutes. And it's about developing your hand-eye coordination and your skills of perception.
O'sha tiklash jarayonida, shu halokatdan keyingi o'zlariga kelish holatlarida bajargan mashqlaridan birini biz bilan bo'lishmoqchilar. Bu kishiga katta yordam bergan bir mashq ekan shu. Men o'ylaymanki, deyaptilar, sizda ham ogohlantirilgansiz, bitta baroq va qalam yo ruchka yoningizda bor. Hozir shuni bajarish orqali vaziyatni qabul qilish va o'sha vaziyatga kirishish, o'sha vaziyatdan chiqish, o'ziga kelish, tiklanish anosini bajarish uchun shu mashqni sizlar bilan bajarishni istardim. Mana endi qani birga bajarishga tayyormizmi? Hozir bu kishi bizga musiqa chalib turadilar. Bu 10-15 daqiqani oladi. Balki Guli Xonim birga ko'maklasharlar. Demak, shu yerda hozir 10-15 daqiqada mana shu barnamani bajarib olamiz.
Nimaga ko'maklashib yuboray?
Bilmasam shunaqa deyaptilar-ku.
Okay, so shall we start, Rebecca?
Yeah. So this is essentially, I think you're probably all quite creative already. You do cooking, you do sewing, and possibly even gardening or child rearing. So essentially, you should never forget that. And in our increasingly busy lives, it's important that we allow ourselves the time to do these activities. So what I would like you to do is, with your piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, I have a pencil here, but I'm going to drum while you do this. You put your hand on the piece of paper, and then I want you to draw around it. And then when you have finished drawing around it, set your hand next to the piece of paper. And then I want you to look at your hand, whether you've done it that way or that way. I want you to draw the detail that you see, whether it's your fingernails or your knuckles or the lines in your hands.
Okay. Demak, bu sizni qo'lingiz va ko'zingizni muvofiqlashtirish bilan, uni idrok etish qobiliyatlarini rivojlantirish bilan bog'liq mashq ekan. O'zim ham qiziqib ketyapman rostda. Sizda hammada o'z mana qobiliyatlar bor, masalan, ijodkorlik, oshpazlik, kimdir tikuvchilik bilan qiziqadi, qila oladi, kimdir bog'dorchilik, kimdir bola tarbiyasi. Bu sizga singib ketgan va buni har doim bajarasiz. Siz o'rgangansiz shu narsalarga. Aslida buni hech qachon unutmaysiz. Demak, hozir bizning tobora band tig'iz hayotimizda vaqt ajratish bu uchun muhim. Demak, hozir nima ish qilamiz? Ruchka va qalamni mana bunday barog'imizga qo'limizni yo kaft tomonini yo orqa tomonini qo'yamiz va atrofini aylantirib chizamiz hammamiz. Detalni chizinglar. Masalan, tirnoqlaringiz bormi nima? Kim keyin qo'lini past tomonini qo'yib chizgan bo'lsa, kaftidagi bo'tiqlarini, mana chiziqlarini chizadi. Kim teskari tomonni qo'ygan bo'lsa, tatuirovkasi bormi, uzugi bormi, tirnog'i bormi, laki bormi, lakida nusxasi, naqshi bormi deymizmi? Shunaqasi bormi? Shuni chizadi hamma hozir. Demak, listga qo'limizni qo'yamiz, istasa bunday, istasa bunaqasiga. Qo'yib, atrofini chizamiz. Tayyormisiz?
Them afterwards.
Ungacha bizga Rebecca xonim musiqa chalib turadilar.
Okay, please.
Marhamat, hamma boshlaydi. Lovely. Thank you, Rebecca. I really enjoyed your playing.
How are you getting on?
I felt myself like in a fairy tale.
How are you getting on with your drawing?
Shall I say?
Bravo.
You see it?
Yeah. Oh, it's yours. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's it.
And how's everybody else getting on?
That was beautiful.
So,
You're welcome.
I really enjoyed. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
You're welcome. Can you take a screenshot with everybody's drawings? If everybody holds their drawings up and you go through the pages.
yeah.
Oh, we are recording now.
Oh, you're recording, okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are recording. So it will be on the YouTube. Everybody can see it.
Wonderful. Great. I'm just having a look through. Cool. Thank you.
Ko'rsatasizlarmi qizlar chizganlaringizni, ha?
Ha, nima?
Kimlar chizdi, qani?
Endi yondiringlar-da, uyatda endi davay kamerani yondiring.
Qiziqyapti-da, qani chiqdinglarmi yo bekorga o'tirdinglarmi deb qiziqyapti, qani?
Ochinglar, qani?
Assalomu alaykum, Guli xonim.
Alaykum assalom.
Mana meniki ko'rinyaptimi?
Hozir hammanikini bitta ko'ryapman-da, qani? Menimcha. Yo'q, hech kimniki ko'rinmayapti. Qani? Ochinglar.
Mana ko'rsatyapmiz. Mana ko'rsatyapmiz.
Okay.
Ko'rinmayaptimi?
I did one earlier. There we go.
Yeah,
That was
good.
mine earlier.
Yes. Yes, okay. I can see it. They look good. Hammani qo'li har xil ekanda, bittanisiniki semiz, bittasiniki ariqcha, bittasiniki kichkinacha. I'm telling them your hands are some of them fat, some of them big, some of them small, some of them.
O'zbeklarga qo'rqdim.
Right?
Sizlar ham opami zo'r chiqdi qo'llari.
Bravo.
Ko'rdingiz, bu sizni ko'zingiz bilan qo'lingizni muvofiqlashtirish mashqi edi. Ko'rib, o'zingizni mana qo'lingizni kuzatasizda, o'zingizni chizasiz. Ko'zingiz bilan qo'lingiz ikkita bitta odamniki-ku. Shuni muvofiqlashtirish mashqini bajardik hozir.
Perfect. So, with drawing connections at the edges, which is the full name of the program that I was doing, we would do exercises like this, and it was delivered in mainly male environments, so high risk prisons and low risk prisons.
Mana shu demak, ulanish aloqalarini, ulanish chiziqlarini chizish mashqi bilan erkaklarda katta muvaffaqiyatga erishilibdi-da. Erkaklarda ham bajarilgan ekan mana shu mashqlar, ya'ni xavf past bo'lgan ochiq qamoqdan tortib, hattoki o'ta xavfli retsidivistlar bo'ladi-ku. Mana shunaqa bu odamlar borib qamoqxonalarda ham juda og'ir muhit hukmron qamoqxonalarda ham bajarilgan ekanda, mana shu mashqlar.
Yeah. An artist residency in a high security prison. I did 100 hours over 3 months. So as an artist.
Oh. Demak, mana shu juda qat'iy xavfli retsidivistlar, xavfli nima deydi, xavfi baland qamoqxonalarda 3 oy davomida 100 soat vaqtlarini o'tkazgan ekanlar. Mana shu rassomlar yashash joyida shu vaqtlarni o'tkazgan ekanlar. Mana shu mashqlarni bajartirgan ekanlar. 100 soat davomida 3 oy davomida.
And in those environments, it was about encouraging people, irrespective of what they had done and what our differences were, to be their best selves. So encouraging them to kind of be the best person that they can be.
Har qanday muhitda, mana shu barcha muhitda, xavf baland, xavf past darajadagi qamoqxonalarning barchasida ham odamlarni bir-birini turidan qat'iy nazar, o'zidan qat'iy nazar, ularni o'zi bo'lishga, men masalan, hammani o'zligi bilib, o'zi bo'lishga da'vat etdim deyaptilar va buni foydalari, naflari haqida gapirdim. Demak, har bir inson o'zi bo'lish, kimga qarab harakat qilish, taklif qilish, o'zi bo'lishga erishish kerak ekan. Mana o'zi ham o'zini qo'lini chizdi, xuddi shunday. Mhm.
And in the low risk prisons, it was about working with people to improve their self-esteem before they returned or re-entered society after they had completed their sentences.
Demak, xavf darajasi past bo'lgan qamoqxonalarda odamlar o'zlarining oldidagi qadr-qimmatlarini yanada tiklash, mana ular chunki endi ayb ish qilgan, jinoyat qilganki, o'ziga bo'lgan bahosi pasayadi-da u paytda odam. Chunki u jazolanadi-ku. Mana shu odamlarning o'zini qadr-qimmatini yaxshilash uchun ular bilan ishlash, mana jazo muddatidan keyin ular jamiyatga qaytadi. Mana shu jamiyatga qaytganda o'zini borligicha qabul qilishi uchun demak yordam beradigan mashqlar ekan.
And in the high-risk prisons, it was quite different. It was working with men in close surveillance areas who were under 24-hour watch. And then the unit for people with severe personality disorders who were considered to be quite dangerous. And so they weren't going anywhere anytime soon. It was about giving them skills so that they could navigate their trauma potentially and displacement within an institutional landscape, which were things that I had experienced in my life, albeit in a very different context.
Demak, xavfli oz, mana bu xavf kam qamoqxonalar haqida endi ular jamiyatga chunki qaytadi, ishonch bor, endi qaytadi ular. Shunga tayyorlandi. Lekin o'ta xavfli retsidivistlar bor qamoqxonalarda vaziyat umuman boshqacha edi. Ya'ni ular doimiy mana ularni yaqindan kuzatib ishladim dedilar. Xavfli, o'ta og'ir xavfli shaxsiyatli insonlar bilan ishladim. Ular 24 soat davomida kuzatuvda bo'ladi. 24 soat naблюдениеda bo'ladi. Axloqi buzuq har xil odamlar bu yerda. Sog'ligi yo'q, mana jin emas-ku, endi mana juda nimasi buzilib ketgan bo'lak, moralni odam. Demak, o'shalarni yaqindan ular hech qayerga keta olmaydi. Ular biladi, tamom, abadiy sherda, abadiy qamoq jazosini olganlar bu ularning orasida. Ular hech qayerga keta olmaydi. Shuning uchun ham ularni o'zidagi ko'nikmalarini jihozlash, ularni o'sha landshaft bilan ishlash, ularni boshqarish, ulardagi travmani yo'qotish uchun harakat juda qiyin. Chunki ular biladi, abadiy sherda qolayotgan bilgani uchun ham ulardagi travmani davolash, yaxshilash qiyin. Va ularda mana shu mashqlar tajrib ularda ham ish bergan ekan, foyda bergan ekan.
So creating safe spaces for shared creative learning experiences was essential. And the subject of art or creativity for most people in that environment was a soft subject. So it wasn't taken seriously. But it was through this engagement we witnessed and experienced the most profound and positive growth in the individuals that took part.
Demak, birgalikda mana shu ikkita turli xil qamoqxonalarda, o'ta og'ir va o'ta og'irlikdagi qamoqxonalarda ijodiy ta'lim tajribalari uchun xavfsiz joylarni yaratish juda muhim. San'at mavzusi ayniqsa, chunki bu muhit san'at yumshoq mavzu-ku, mana mягкий mavzu. Bu yerda hamma qalbi tosh bo'lib qotgan odamlar, ular jinoyat qilgan shunaqa odamlarda endi. San'at ular uchun juda qiziq. Juda ko'p mana shunaqa mashqlar, ishlar o'sha shaxslardagi chuqur ijobiy o'sishga olib kelganiga guvoh bo'ldilar, boshdan kechirdilar mana shu narsalarni.
So, if I may, one of the materials that we used in all the different environments that I was in, and it was one of the things that was the grounding of my life and my experience. It's a poem that was shared with me all of my life. My mother, wherever we lived, would put a copy of it in a very significant place where most people spend a lot of time, in the downstairs toilet. So we would sit, so you would be able to reflect on it and consider the words. So I'm going to share that poem with you now. And I have sent a copy through, but it may be that I take it slowly and then as you can translate it for me, Vazira.
Demak, shuna qilib, umid qilamanki, ushbu hozirgi chiroyli suhbatimiz orqali mana hozir eng boshida aytdilar. Hayot bir-biridan tajriba o'rganish, almashish uchun maydon. Ya'ni sizdan o'rganamiz, hattoki begonalardan, qarindoshdan, do'stdan, yaqindan va hokazo. Onam bir she'rni doim olib yurardilar, aytib turardilar, deyaptilar. Hozir mana shu she'rni o'qib bermoqchiman sizlarga dedilar.
This is the copy.
Manga o'sha rasmini menga tashlagandilar.
I don't
Tak.
see,
Hmm.
or if I can share screen, but I
Mhm.
will read it. It's called Desiderata
Mhm.
by Max Ernam. It was written in 1927. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there may be. Many persons strive for higher deals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you consider that to be. And whatever your labor and aspiration in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
Mhm. Now, let me just translate it. Thank you very much. So lovely. Demak, bu kishi oylari doim o'qib yurgan, olib yurgan, har qachon zerikkanda yo'q, xursand bo'lganda o'qiydigan bir she'rni o'qib berdilar. Men sizlarga hozir shuni aynan so'zma-so'z bo'lmasa ham chiroyli ma'nosini aytib bermoqchiman. Shovqin va shoshqaloqliklar orasida beparvolik bilan tinchlik, sukutda qanday tinchlik bo'lishi mumkinligini eslang. Imkon qadar taslim bo'lmasdan hamma bilan yaxshi munosabatda bo'ling. O'zingizning haqiqatingizni tinch va aniq gapiring, o'zingiz ishongan gapni. Boshqalarni, hatto ular zerikarli, johil bo'lsalar-da, ularni tinglang. Ularning ham o'z hikoyalari bor. Qattiq va tajovuzkor kishilardan saqlaning. Ular ruhingizning azobidir. Agar siz o'zingizni boshqalar bilan taqqoslasangiz, behuda va yoqimsiz bo'lib qolishingiz mumkin. Chunki har doim o'zingizdan kattaroq yoki kuchliroq insonlarni ko'rishingiz mumkin. O'zingizni rejalaringiz bilan bir qatorda yutuqlaringiz bilan ham zavqlaning. O'zingizning martabangizga qiziqsangiz, kamtar bo'ling. Martabaga erishmoqchi bo'lsangiz. Bu o'zgaruvchan vaqt boyliklarida haqiqiy egalikdir. Tijorat ishlaringizda ehtiyot bo'ling. Chunki dunyo hiyla-nayrangga to'la. Ammo bu qanday fazilatli ekanligini ko'p qilmasin. Ko'p odamlar yuksak ideallar sari intilishadi va hamma joyda hayot qahramonliklariga to'la. O'zligingizni yo'qotmang. Ayniqsa mehrni his qiling. Sevgiga hech qachon beparvo bo'lmang. Chunki har qanday qo'rg'oqchilik, norozilik oldida maysa kabi ko'p yillik urug'lar hisoblanadi. Yoshlik narsalarni xushmuomalalik bilan topshirib, yillarning maslahatlariga xushmuomala bo'ling. To'satdan baxtsizlikdan sizni himoya qilish uchun ruh kuchini tarbiyalang. Ammo qorong'u tasavvurlar bilan o'zingizni hech qachon qiynamang. Ko'p qo'rquv, charchoq va yolg'izliklardan tiyiling. Yaxshi intizomdan tashqari o'zingizga yumshoq munosabatda bo'ling. Siz daraxtlar va yulduzlar kam bo'lmagan koinotning farzandisiz. Bu yerda bo'lishga haqqingiz to'laqonli bor. Va bu sizga tushunarli bo'ladimi yoki yo'qmi? Siz olam uchun shubhasiz keraksiz va olam sizga qadar ochilmoqda. Shunday ekan, nima deb o'ylasangiz ham, Xudo bilan tinch, Xudoga ishonch bilan bo'ling, ishonch va e'tiqodda bo'ling. Va sizning mehnat va intilishlaringiz qanday bo'lishidan qat'iy nazar, hayotning shovqinli chalkashliklarida qalbingiz tinchligini saqlaydi. O'zingizga soxtalik va dadilliklarni singan orzular bilan go'zallashtiring. Singan orzularingizni hammacha go'zallashtiring. Quvnoq bo'ling va doim baxtli bo'lishga intiling. May Erman 1927-yil.
It's so beautiful and it's very romantic and it's like it's amazing. It's
Lovely.
It's touched my heart, Rebecca. Thank you. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Wazira. It was beautiful as well. It's the way she recited. It's so amazing. Like it's very romantic, I would say. Thank you, Wazira, as well. The ladies are writing in chat and saying thank you to you, Rebecca. They're all saying
so beautiful. So I'll wrap up and say that I hope through this conversation that the activities we have done together, you have found some time and space for yourself, and it has given you a sense of the importance creativity could hold for you in your everyday life. And through these practices, 5-10 minutes, though it may only be brief, it may make a lasting impression, and developing your own self-esteem and realization in your self-worth and being true to yourself and living in that truth is so very important, and as a firm step towards realizing your potential both in business and your personal life. So if you believe in yourself, then others will believe in you too.
Ushbu siz bilan qisqa vaqt bo'lsa-da, juda chiroyli amaliyotlarni bajarish orqali sizda katta taassurot qoldirdi deb ishonaman. O'zingizni qadr-qimmatingizni rivojlantirish ustida, o'zingizni anglash, o'zingizni his qilish, o'zingizga o'zingiz murojaat qilishga o'rganishni, bilishni o'rganganingizga ishonaman. Juda ham xursandman bundan. Har doim o'z aqidangizga, o'z ishonchingizga sodiq qoling. Shu haqiqatda yashang va bu sizni istagan orzularingizni ro'yobga chiqarish uchun juda qat'iy qadamdir. Hatto biznesda ham, shaxsiy hayotingizda ham qat'iyatga ega bo'ling. Qat'iyat juda ham muhim. Agar siz o'zingizga ishonsangiz, boshqalar ham sizga ishonishadi. Agar o'zingizga ishonchingiz bo'lsa, hamma sizga ishonadi.
So wishing you all the best in your projects, and if you have any questions, I'm here for 5 or 10 more minutes, so you're welcome to ask them.
Thank you.
Agar sizlarga shu darsimiz yoqqan bo'lsa, xursandman va kimda savollar bo'lsa, 10 minutgina yana vaqtim bor, qisqa qilib tezroq savollaringizni bersalaringiz bo'ladi. Kimda savol bor? Endi Guli xonim o'zingiz bu yoqni boshqarasizmi?
Yo'q, o'zingiz boshqaravering, men sizga bergan. Yo'q, ketyapsizmi?
Yo'q, qayerga ketaman? Mana hozir demak, Malohat Ibrohim degan qizimiz qo'llarini ko'tarib turibdilar. Savol berasizmi?
Assalomu alaykum hammaga. Assalomu alaykum Rebecca. Hello Rebecca. Tashakkur dars uchun. Men hozir rostdan ham juda ham hayajonlanaman. Nimaga? Bu instrumentni juda ham yaxshi ko'raman. Eshitib yuraman har doim. Hozir Shakirovatsa bo'laman-da, как бы bu instrumentni chalgan inson bilan yuzma-yuz bo'lganim uchun. Juda ham tashakkur etaman bu musiqa uchun. Va anaqa hurmat qilganimni aytsangiz ularga bu san'at turini ham juda ham hurmat qilaman. O'zim ham qisman bo'lsa ham san'at insonimanda. San'atni juda ham yaxshi ko'raman. Hayotim mazmuni desam ham bo'ladi. Keyin mana bu chizdirgan rasmlar bor-ku, qo'l izlari. O'g'lim bilan bu ishlarni qilamiz-da, keramikani ustida полностью. Bu rostdan ham terapiya-da, zo'r terapiya. Hozirgi qilgan просто tashakkur etmoqchiman. На самом деле mamnunman tanishganimdan shunaqa ayol bilan.
So Rebecca, she's really grateful and pleased to meet you, and she's really interested in art and music, and so she likes this instrument especially, you know what? So she's very grateful to meet a person who can play this, and he usually makes this activity, like drawing connections activity, with her son, and she has no question, but she wanted to thank you for your useful session and for everything.
Thank you. I'm honored. And if you'd like to know a bit more about the instrument, it is called a ravast, and it's made in Perm. It's a hand pan drum, and it is made in Perm, which is the most easterly city on the sub-European continent next to Siberia. So very cold there, I understand. They have snow leopards. So
demak bu ravast instrumenti ekan. Kim qiziqsa YouTube'ga yo internetga ravast deb bersa, Sibir Yevropani mana shu Yevropa atrofi davlatlarida asosan ishlatiladigan, chalinadigan instrument ekan. Qor leopardlari yashaydigan joylar, sovuq joylarda chalinadigan instrument ekan. O'zimga ham rosa yoqdi. Thank you, Rebecca. Yana hozir savoli borlar qizlarimizni ko'ramiz. Kimda realniy savol bor? Mana javob izlayotgan, savolga javob izlayotganlar bor. Madmarova Shahzoda, marhamat.
Iltimos qisqa savol beringlar, chunki nima?
Assalomu alaykum.
Aloqa yo'q.
Assalomu alaykum.
Assalomu alaykum, gapiring.
Avvalambor bugungi darsimizga o'z minnatdorchiligimni bildiraman. Musiqa, san'at, adabiyotni birlashtirdilar. Juda ham xursandmiz. Menimcha bunday insonlardan yomonlik chiqmasa kerak hech qachon. Shu terapiyani, mana bugungi o'tgan darslarimizni farzandlarimizni ham qo'llasak, farzandlarimiz uchun ham qandaydir pozitiv bir holat keltirib chiqara olarmikin biz? Masalan, meni kichkina farzandim darsga umuman qiziqishi yo'q. Darsga qiziqish uchun shunaqa terapiyalarni qilish uchun yana nimalarni maslahat berishalarkin?
Okay, rahmat kattakum. She's really grateful for the session, very interesting session. She's telling that you combine in the microphone which is like Guli, iltimos. Shahzoda, mikrofon o'chirasiz. Demak, kimgadir ovoz borda. You combine music and literature all together with the poems and music. The question is, can she use this therapy, like activity, drawing connections activity, to help her son to do her lessons, because he is not motivated to do lessons, after class lessons or doing lessons. He's not interested in doing lessons, so going to lessons. So can it be useful, helpful for him to change to positive side for doing his tasks? So
I understand. I think that if he has the patience to sit there and attempt it, if you are able to create a situation where you have some music playing, so that's a distraction, but gentle music, and then you sit with him and he does the activity with his hand on a piece of paper, then if he starts that process and he sticks with it, you may find that helps bring him into the space and makes him more comfortable to do and think about the work that he's doing.
Thank you. Demak, siz juda nежный muzikalar bilan, tinchlantiruvchi muzikalarni ishlatib, bola bir joyda o'tirishni o'rganish kerak. Demak, bolangiz toqat bilan bir joyga o'tira olmaydi-da, shu sababli ham dars qilishga qiynaladi, darsga diqqati kam. Uni siz muzika bilan yumshoq, yaxshi tinchlantiruvchi muzikani qo'yib, bir joyga o'tkazib, darslarni qilib bajarishga urg'u bersangiz, undasangiz bo'ladi va bu albatta unga juda ham foydali bo'ladi deb hisoblaydilar. Can we have one more question, Rebecca?
Yeah, please. I have time.
Okay. Yana bitta savolimiz, demak, Mahmuda Tajriba, savolingiz bormi? Mahmuda Tajriba. Shahnoza, menimcha Shahnoza aytasiz, ha? Shahnoza,
assalomu alaykum. Bugungi dars uchun rahmat aytaman. Musiqa uchun alohida rahmat. Nervlarimiz ancha spokойный bo'ldi. Savolim shuki, biror ishni qaror qilganlarida o'z yaqinlaridan maslahat qiladilarmi va negativchilarga qanday qaraydilar o'zlarining sohalari bo'yicha? Rahmat.
Rahmat. Okay. Now the question. First of all, she thanked for very beautiful music and for useful session. And the question is, do you usually take the advice of your relatives or friends while making serious decisions? And how you react to people who give always negative feelings or negative thoughts to you? How you handle?
Yes, this is very relevant at the moment. I think in terms of taking family advice, of course, I always listen to what they say. I think that's very important. And where I feel it is appropriate, I take their advice and I try to work their perspective into my own way of perceiving or considering the situation. Does that answer that?
Yeah, thank you. Demak, biror qaror qabul qilishda bu qaror siz uchun qanchalik muhimligini hisobga olgan holda siz asosiy bu yerda rol o'tkazasiz. Hammani fikrini eshitaman va vaziyatimga moslashtirib chiqaman. Har bitta vaziyat shuni natijasini o'zimga moslashtirib. Hammani eshitaman va o'zimga qarorni o'zim qabul qilaman. Ya'ni maslahatni ham eshitaman va o'sha qarorni, kerakli qarorni qabul qilaman.
And so in respect to making decisions, I think that often I put other people's opinions and preferences ahead of my own and their needs perhaps before my own. But when it comes to negative people, you have to remember that a lot of that negativity is the negativity they have within themselves for themselves, and they are projecting because of life experiences. And so I try to be positive towards those people, and whilst they may be negative towards me and I might think about that afterwards, I try not to be negative back, because two wrongs don't make a right.
Demak, atrofdagi negativ odamlar o'zi ichida nimadir muammolar, nimadir o'sha qiyinchiliklar bilan yashayotgani, negativlar bilan yashayotganligi uchun negativ holatda namoyon bo'ladi sizga. Shu ularga nisbatan hech qachon qayta negativ javob bermang. Ularga nisbatan pozitiv bo'lishga harakat qiling. Yaxshi munosabatda, ijobiy munosabatda bo'lishga harakat qiling. Sizga nisbatan salbiy gap aytgan, salbiy munosabatda bo'lganlarni ham salbiy munosabatda, yana qayta salbiy munosabatda bo'lish vaziyatni yana ham keskinlashtiradi. Shuning uchun ijobiy munosabatda bo'lishga harakat qilaman dedilar va sizga ham shuni tavsiya qilaman dedilar. Ijobiy, demak, sizga negativ bo'lganlari bilan ularga ijobiy bo'lishga harakat qiling. Vaqti bilan ular ham o'zgaradi. Chunki ular shunday bo'lishiga nimadir sabab bor. Negativ ichki muhiti bor, negativ qanaqadir holati bor. Shundan kelib chiqib sizga negativ munosabatda bo'layotganini tushunsangiz, kechira olasiz, osonda qabul qilasiz.
I think, if I may also add to that, is sometimes it's not about being positive in reaction to the negativity. Sometimes it's about hearing them, and they need to be heard, and hearing what they have to say and then taking that in a neutral kind of frame of mind, and then thinking about how we can work together to make it better, if that makes sense. I hope.
Faqat pozitiv bo'lishni o'zi yetarli emas deb hisoblayman. Ba'zan o'sha odamlardagi negativ odamlardagi fikrni eshitishni to'g'ri deb bilaman, ma'qul ko'raman. Chunki eshitsangiz ularning aytadigan gapi bor. O'sha uni gapidan kelib chiqib uni maqsadini aniqlaysiz. Unga nima yetishmayotganini yoki nima kerakligini bilasiz. Shunga qarab munosabat qilasiz. Balkim shu narsa ham uni salbiy holatini o'zgartirishiga yordam beradi. Ya'ni sizga nisbatan ijobiy pozitsiyaga o'zgaradi u. Salbiy pozitsiyadan sizga nisbatan ijobiy pozitsiyaga o'zgarishiga yordam beradi deb hisoblayman. Thank you, Rebecca. Can we have one more question?
One more. Yeah.
One more. Okay. Yana bitta savol bor, oxirgi savol bo'ladi bu. Marhabo Xalikova.
Assalomu alaykum. Assalomu alaykum. Oldindan minnatdorman hamma darslar uchun. Bugungi eng qiziqarlisi bugungi dars menga yana ham qanaqadir kuch berdi. Men o'zim shu sohani yaqinda bitirdim, ezoterikani. Shuni so'ramoqchimanda, odamlarga yordam berib gapirganimda maza qilib energiya olamanda, keyin og'irlashaman. Qanaqadir kuchim qolmay qoladi. Shu nimadan ekan?
Okay. So, Rebecca, it was the most interesting session we had till now. She's grateful, she said. And she recently completed the course of esoterics, like learning the heart and just feelings and that sort of things. So she usually tries to help people by listening their problems. It's sort of psychology, or maybe psychologist. She listens to people's problems and then she gives some advices or helps with her suggestions, makes some comments about their life. So after that, she feels herself tired and exhausted. She thinks that she loses her strength, power after that, after listening to their problems and that sort of things. So what you can suggest her to do in this case?
I understand. So it sounds like counseling or psychology in that environment, and dealing with other people's emotions is a very draining thing if they are projecting onto you. And I would say that spending time breathing will help. And whether you do an activity like yoga or Tai Chi, they are very good for grounding and helping you find yourself again. I spent a lot of time, I've practiced Tai Chi, so it's called Tai Chi Qigong Sabasa. And if you go onto, there's a website which is Tai Chi, TAICHI 18.com, taichi18.com, and there's an exercise on there, and Sifu Wing Chun, there's a little video, and you can follow his practice. I have found that very helpful. I've been doing that for the last 15 years. I also teach a little myself, but just in community settings, so I haven't done anything since we've been locked down. This is an activity that I have done with the Drawing Connections project. So the little drawing exercise, writing things down is very helpful too. It's very important that you do take 5 or 10 minutes for yourself.
Demak bu psixologiya, thank you Rebecca. Psixologiya va mana bu shu ezoterika va hokazo shunga o'xshagan kasblar odatda juda charchoqli bo'ladi, chunki siz insonning emotsional va ruhiy holatiga kirasiz va bu sizni charchatishi tabiiydir. Bunda sizga yordam beradi nafas olish mashqlari, yoga, to'g'ri nafas olish hozir bajardik-ku shunaqada. Tai Chi mashqlari yordam berar ekan. Tai Chi bu taichi18.com, taichi18.com degan sayt bor ekan. Hozir shuni men nimaga yozaman, kommentariyaga yozaman sizga o'shira. Menga spell qildilar, so'z harflarini aytdilar. shunda mashqi bor ekan, o'shani o'ziga qarab bajarish yordam beradi deyaptilar. Men 15 yildan buyon men shu mashqlar bilan bajarar ekanlar. Ya'ni mana boradilar, odamlar bilan birga mana bu shu hammaga o'rgatadilar. Mana gruppa bo'lib bajaradilar. Bo'ladi, shunaqa meditatsiyalar qilinadi. Mana shunaqa qilib bajaraman dedilar. 15 yildan buyon bajarib kelayotgandim. Karantin boshlangandan buyon shuni bajara olmayapman. Bajara olmay qoldim, lekin doim bajarib yurgandim. Hozir o'zim bajaraman shunchaki. Bundan tashqari yozish, chizish mashqlari, rasm chizish, bo'yash, chizish, bir nimalarni yozish mashqlari ham holatdan chiqishga sizga yordam beradi. Kirib ketmangda, iloji boricha shu tinglaganda ichiga kirib ketmangda vaziyat. Mana shu narsalar orqali o'shani o'zingizdan chiqara olishingiz mumkin dedilar. Thank you for.
Kattakon minnatdorman.
She is really grateful and she is thanking for the answer. Rahmat, endi mikrofonni o'chirsangiz bo'ladi. I think that's all for questions. Guli Khanum, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, thank you very much, Rebecca, and it was a pleasure to have you. And I can see the ladies are so happy, and I'm very honored, especially you being, here and giving wonderful time for our ladies. And on behalf of my ladies, women's leadership organization, I would like to thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you for your time, and thank you, Wazira, for translating. And it will be on YouTube as soon as possible. Whenever we have time, we will upload it, and we shall let you have this link as well. And please do follow our women's leadership on our Facebook and Instagram, so that you can perhaps maybe participate with our students if they have any questions.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm wishing you all the best in your projects and with the women's leadership.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much.
Loyihamizga eng yaxshi tilaklarini bildirib, kishi ham rahmatlarini aytdilar. Hammalaringizga rahmat. Juda ham ajoyib session bo'ldi. Rebecca, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
It was really pleasant to have session with you. It was my pleasure also
It was
to translate, to deliver what you're telling. Hopefully, I did just well.
You did so well, Wazira. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care, Rebecca. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Hammaga rahmat. Lady.